Listen. This is the most monumental stream, the greatest, the most important live stream that I've ever conducted. Clearly, clearly, we've reached the peak. We've reached the peak of what live streams can be. I'm telling you right now that this is the greatest stream. This is the greatest stream I've ever made. It's only 30 seconds in, and I already know it's a fact. I already know it's a fact, goddammit. This is good cereal. Good fucking cereal. It's good stuff. I like it. The greatest stream ever made. Facts, goddammit. Hello, featuring D's. How are you doing today? I'm still sick. Unfortunately, I've been sick for the last like 5 days now. Because for some reason, whenever I get sick, it always takes like it always ends up lasting a really long time. I don't know why. I'm good, but a little hurt you're not eating Reese's Puff. Well, I wish I was eating Reese's Puff. Reese's Puff cereal is great. But the only cereal we had in the cabinet was just Captain Crunch. Oh, damn. Okay, gotta read this off the top of my head. I can recognize a lot of these characters, I just don't know what they mean in context. Fuck. Um, how are you doing today, trapped in my psyche? How is everything? I hope everyone's doing well. I've been fighting this illness like a soldier recently because like I thought it would be gone in like 3 or 4 days, or at the most, or like 2 days. I thought it was gonna be, but it ended up lasting way too long. I feel you. I rarely get sick, but when I do, it's like a geostemia from a Final Fantasy VII Advent Children. Yeah, like it always ends up lasting a really long time, even though it doesn't happen much. Now, when I was younger, I used to get sick all the time. I'm sorry you're sick, my friend. Thank you. I pretty much study Japanese almost every day, grinding this shit. Hey, good job. I'm glad to hear that you're being consistent with it. That's awesome, man. I'm beginning to realize that trying to eat food while live streaming was actually a really bad idea because your desktop setup looks boss, by the way. Thank you. Um, yeah, like I'm beginning to realize that trying to eat food and live stream at the same time is a really bad idea because you have to sit there and chew the food. You have to sit there and chew the food when you want to say something because I don't want to like I don't want to have the food in my mouth while I'm talking because that's just rude. And I tend to chew pretty slowly. I don't know why. Bad idea, full, more like good idea to eat cereal and stream. I mean, it's good in the sense that like it's good in the sense that while you're eating food, you can give yourself something to do, but it's bad in the sense that when you have to say something, you're gonna have food in your mouth. And because it's cereal in particular, you have to eat it kind of fast or else it gets like really, really soggy. Hey Star, I was doing a bit of writing when I saw you were streaming. I mean, I'm probably not going to be streaming for too long. I just wanted to stream for a sec, but what are you writing about today? Um, you should review old episodes of Dragon Ball while eating cereal slow. That would be so much fun as like a gimmick. Because I used to watch Dragon Ball a lot on Saturday morning. And so, Saturday morning would come and I'd get my bowl ready. Um, and I'd sit down. I'd sit down and eat my cereal while watching the new episode of Dragon Ball. Now, at that point, like I wasn't following it in order because it was Dragon Ball Z Kai that they were playing. And so like I got a lot of episodes like out of order and stuff, but that was always so much fun. I want to go back and watch Dragon Ball again because that show was like really important to me when I was younger. It's just the most inspirational shit in the world. That's the thing. I'm like, a lot of people hate the Boo Saga. I think like the Boo Saga is like the best part of the show. So I have some hot Dragon Ball takes every now and again. Just writing my thoughts on Durarara now that I finished season 3 today. I'll finish the final season in a couple of days. Oh wow. I didn't know you were writing a Durarara analysis. I'm excited for that to come out. Tropical Mainlander says yummy. Yeah, it's pretty good. I I haven't gotten good at explaining my thoughts in an interesting way, but practice is key to achieving it. Most definitely, yeah. If you want to get good at anything, you got to practice. The Boo Saga is equivalent to Sam Raimi's third Spider-Man film. It's silly greatness. Yeah, exactly. Excuse me. Yeah, like if you can make something that's silly and enjoyable just because it's so silly, then like it may not be the same as the rest of the show, but it's good in its own right. Oh, it's the end for the 2010s decade video. Oh, okay, I see. Good luck on your Durarara writing. Yeah, most definitely. I think as anime watcher just like edits it and finds ways to rephrase the ideas, he's gonna hit it out of the park. I've been working on my first Hunter x Hunter video. I've been scared to talk about it because I love it so much. Oh man, there's gonna be more Hunter x Hunter analysis for Mark to put in his playlist. That's gonna be good. Like, I haven't I haven't even properly seen the show because I've watched it on like Adult Swim, but I never finished it because of that. And then I've watched like random episodes on my own. Um, and it's a really cool show. I just wish I'd finished it already. Um, so yeah, I like Hunter x Hunter analysis a lot. Like even though I haven't properly seen the show, I've seen so many Hunter x Hunter videos. I can't get enough of it. Mm. What's my least favorite cereal? Probably Cheerios. I think Cheerios are really boring. I don't like Chex very much. Chex is bad. The one good thing Chex ever did by existing was creating that Chex Master video game that was like the first person shooter based on Doom, but with checks. Angry Video Game Nerd did a review of it, and it was really funny. I was surprised to find out that I was in the minority who likes Gone more than Killua, although I love them both. Yeah, like I'm surprised that so many people like Killua that much. I think a lot of it has to do with like porn, to be honest, because there's like a bunch of Killua porn, and I'm not like a Shota person, so I think it's a little bit weird. But yeah, there are a bunch of people who are like really into Killua as like a cute thing. Where is this? Here, let me find you the name of the video. And then I'll type it in the chat. I'm just gonna put in Chex AVG and try and find what I'm trying to find here. Oh, Chex Quest! That's what it was called. Okay, for some reason I thought it was called Chex Master. I was like, I think I got that mixed up with something else. But yeah, that's the name of the video. Hmm. Yeah, no problem. I've been trying to make my sleep schedule more consistent recently, because it's been like the hardest thing for me to do for the longest time. And so I've been trying to make a conscious effort to sleep at the same time. And I've been kind of sleeping like sometimes 1 hour or 2 hours off. Like, I'm not always getting it right, but so far I've been pretty successful at improving my sleep schedule because I've been trying to stay awake in the daytime so I can get more stuff done. But I need to start going to tutoring pretty soon so I can get my GED and then take the SAT test so I can get all caught up in school. Mm. What's funny about Star eating cereal is I was just eating cereal while playing Smash Bros. I got my ass beat, but the cereal was good though. Yeah, like eating cereal while playing video games is always really fun because you get a tasty treat and you get the game, but then you end up messing up the game in kind of weird ways because you're trying to do two at once. It always gets a kick out of me, especially if I'm playing like a first person shooter or something. I need to weird on my sleep too. Work. Yeah. Like I think for me, because my sleep has been so inconsistent for so long, like it's particularly harder, but like I know as long as I just keep trying and I try, because I've tried so many different methods that it's kind of disheartening, but as long as like I try every single day to like get in the right direction of where I want to wake up or get in the right direction of where I want to be sleeping, um, I think I'll be all right. I just have to keep trying. And even if I don't make it perfect, even if I don't make my sleep cycle perfect, I know I can make it like marginally better than what it is now. And so if I can make it at least kind of better, then that's at least progress, that's at least a better thing. Has becoming an English teacher abroad become more appealing? Yeah, no, it's definitely one idea. It's definitely one idea that's continually buzzed around a lot in my head. I think other than that, most likely what I'm gonna end up doing is just like go to Israel because the Israel has a law basically called the law of return. Is that what it is that any Jewish person throughout the world, if you have like a Jewish mother or a Jewish grandmother, or if you're religiously Jewish, can invoke the law of return, and then using the law of return, you can be granted Israeli citizenship. They give you, 6 months of free Hebrew immersion education, so you get taught the Hebrew language. They give you like a dividend of what is it? Something like $5,200. And so, uh, they just give you that money. They give you housing assistance, so you don't have to pay all of the rent. You're getting some supplementally done by the government. And then after your Hebrew education is done, after those 6 months, you can get a government assisted job. And so there's a whole bunch of benefits set in place uh, for the law of return for immigrating to Israel, which is really cool. And it's something that only like Jews can get. It's people who aren't Jews don't get to use the law of return, unfortunately. New to the channel, have watched most of your essential playlist. Why don't you go on Neatbucks? Well, I guess the one main reason for that is because I don't want to. I don't think I don't think my mental health problems are severe enough to go on Neatbucks. Like, I think I'm generally pretty all right. Um, I don't like I have mental health problems, but my mental health like getting neat bucks is for people who have severe mental health problems. It's not for people like me. Like, people like me um are I think are able-bodied enough to not qualify for it. So, yeah, that's the primary thing is that I would feel bad. I would feel bad getting on neat bucks because I don't have severe enough mental health problems. Um, see, and I mean, if you don't really care, like if you don't really care, I don't blame you for trying to get on them because ultimately it's your choice, but I just don't feel right trying to do it. And also, I don't want to be a NEET forever. Like I do want to get a job eventually, and there are people who just want to be NEETs forever, which is fine, if that's what you enjoy. But like my whole thing is that I want to get a job that I would like, is that I want to do the kind of work that I care about. And there are certain people out there who they just don't have any types of work that they care about, or if they do, like they can't make money off of it. And I feel like most people look at those people and they go, "Oh, these are like bad people, they're terrible or whatever." Well, no, they just don't like doing the types of work that everyone tells them to do. And so I want to I want to do something that I care about, something that I feel like is bringing something positive into the world, like I don't want to be doing work that just feels totally soulless, forever, anything like that. But I don't want to be a NEET forever either because, once you're just like staying in your room for so long and just consuming things, it gets really boring. And I feel like I'm at the phase in my life now where it's just gotten really, really boring. And I don't want to do it anymore. I still obviously like I still want to have like a certain degree of freedom, but I don't want to have so much freedom that I just don't want to do anything. Because it gets depressing after a while. Let me see here. Um, that sounds great. I had no idea Jews had such strong in-group preference. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Russian bot. Yes. I want Neat Boy Bucks. There's a lot of people who want Neat Boy Bucks. Oh, hi, Zabujard. I didn't know Zabujard was here. Hello. My dog just made a shrieking sound. Do you want to say hello to the camera doggy? Hello. You could be a great teacher, Star. I hope you find a great job. Thank you. I can imagine getting bored eventually. Yeah, like I think everybody gets bored. Well, maybe not everybody. Some people just really like just being in their rooms, and those people are pretty cool. But I think I think like you can be the most anti-normie possible. Like you can hate like everybody or something, and you'll still not want to be in your room forever because people just like naturally want to tend towards other people. Eventually, at some point, it's like we need to do things. We need to create stuff that gives us a sense of fulfillment. Like labor doesn't even necessarily have to be done at a job. Like for a lot of people, labor is just like making art or something that like they get to use their labor power to make art, and then because they built something with that, they felt better, they felt like they had more of a meaning in their life. And I think usually like people's sense of self tends to come from the labor that they do, is that like it doesn't even have to be at a workplace. It doesn't have to be like a traditional job. It can just be something that you build, something that you create. Um, but he who is unable to live in society, or he who has no need because he is sufficient for himself, must either be a beast or a god. Um, I don't I don't really like the whole romanticization of, being so self-sufficient that like there's just nobody else around, because it seems really boring. Like I think where it comes from is this sort of fear, this sort of fear that people have of getting close to other people because they don't want to be potentially hurt. And actually, Evangelion is about this to a pretty big degree. Is that throughout the show, you have these characters who want to make human connections, but can't because they're afraid that the closer that they get, the more likely they are to get hurt by someone else. And so the end of the show, what it's about is to sort of communicate that you can connect with other people. You should connect with other people because that's ultimately the goal of your life. It's to not just be totally downtrodden and alone. It's to embrace our similarities. It's to take the things that are common between us and to be able to put those things together to build something beyond ourselves. And out of a love for humanity, you can create something really special, because at that point you open yourself up to being able to work with more people on something larger than what you could work for on your own. So um, yeah, that's kind of like the thing with Ava. So I don't like Nietzsche. Nietzsche was really about this. Is that he thought that it was essentially like slave morality to care about other people. That he thought it was slave morality for like people supporting women's right to vote or supporting like workers' rights and stuff. Really bad guy. But he talked a lot about this idea that you can't be you Nietzsche can suck my cock. Yeah, no, I completely agree. Nietzsche's shit. Um, but like the ideology is so unempathetic, because it's like the moment that you're, in any way connected to other people, now all of the sudden you're being controlled by them. When it sort of rejects this idea that everything we do is going to be in some way informed by the actions of other people. Is that look at sociology or like psychology or something like that. You what do those fields of study ultimately come from? They study how people interact with others, that like the reasons we are this way or the things that we do, the things that make us up, you can trace back to other things that have happened. You know, let's say like I don't know, you're particularly squeamish about red lights or something, you know, because someone you knew when you were young flashed a bunch of red lights in your face. Well, okay, we can determine that that problem that you have with red lights is linked back to other people. It didn't just happen in a vacuum. You're not just an individual that's autonomous, you know, outside of everybody else. We can trace the reasons that you are the way that you are to something bigger than yourself. And these social sciences, like the whole and the other thing too is that the Nietzschean people like to try to say all this stuff about human nature. They say, "Oh, human nature is this," you know, it's to be completely selfish and for everyone to kill each other and all this other stuff. Even though they hate sociology and psychology, like you can't argue that human nature is one way and that human nature is good while also rejecting all of the social sciences that say otherwise. Because at that point, you're just selectively using evidence. And so, it's the same with the Ayn Rand people, and it's really just like it's not it's not honest. That's the problem, is that it's only selectively using information instead of trying to realize that, you know, you aren't just like an autonomous individual separated from the entire world. The reason you are the way you are is a result of very complex societal structures and your interactions with other people. Is that those interactions ultimately shape you. You don't just exist in a vacuum. That's not how it works. There's a much broader material and spiritual plane that determines how life is. So I yeah, I don't like all that. It feels like less romanticization, but more the idea that someone who isolates themselves completely in some sense stops being human in the process. Yeah, no, I think I would definitely think that that's true. I really don't like the thing is that I tend to see people using that quote in a way that romanticizes complete isolation, and I think that's kind of dangerous. Rika Fag triggered. Yeah. Porcupine's Dilemma is very true. Forgot who originally talked about it. I think it might have been Freud. Um, yeah, I think it might have been Freud. Haven't read him yet. I think you're referring to Nietzsche, right? Yeah, Nietzsche's pretty bad. DZ in the chat says, "Hey, how you doing? Let your boss fuck your wife. That's capitalism, bro. Oh no. Oh no. That's probably more like fascism or something." Ugh. Let's see. What are you guys talking about? Just a random spattering of things. I mean, I thought I'd turn the stream on for a bit here, just to air out some grievances, just to say a few words, because I didn't really have anything else to do when I was eating cereal. Um, but yeah, we weren't talking about anything in particular. People can be shitty, people can also be nice. It depends on the situations they're put into, the environments they're put in and grew up, and sort of inbuilt genetic instinctual responses. Yeah, all of those things are true. I think, you know, like I think ultimately like the upbringing is the thing that matters the most, but genetics are a factor too, and yeah, and like the people who just think you're like a totally free individual, or like I'm not like a hardcore determinist or anything. I used to be, but the people who like believe in like absolute free will of like nothing you ever do has ever been caused by external influences. Just totally reject psychology. And it's kind of hard to argue with them because of that. Um, have you been less active, or is it just me? Been watching too much Umaru? I've been watching too much Umaru. I like Umaru's videos. They're very raw and also kind of depressing at the same time. Is that he just walks he just walks around his neighborhood rambling into the camera about his internet life or like about like the lore in his past, and I really like his videos because of that, because they feel like nothing else that I can watch on YouTube. Like he's the only guy who I can go to for those types of videos. And so I like his channel a lot because of that. Um, I have been less active. I can go to my YouTube channel here, and I can show you just by how much. Um, let me. Um, yeah, okay. So this is how it worked, right? 3 weeks ago, I found Valhalla. 2 weeks ago, helped me be less bored. And then 5 days ago, I did the History Marches Forward video. And then now we're doing this. So that's, yeah, these videos are about 1 week apart from one another, pretty much. So yeah, I've been making like way less stuff than I used to, just because I haven't had ideas. Um, I would be making more if I had ideas. I've had no ideas. Uh, who is this autist Admiral Umaru? So Admiral Umaru is like a neat YouTuber. Is that he's like an unemployed guy. He gets paid like $1,000 from the government for like sitting around his house, and he's been in the NEET community for like a long time. He keeps up with all of the drama, and he likes Animal Crossing a lot. He comes into a lot of my streams as well. He actually posts videos that are like clips of my live streams, which is pretty cool. But he's a nice guy. He's a little bit weird. Like he's very much like the otaku kind of weeaboo stereotype in certain ways. But he's a good guy. He's just a little bit strange at times. But I like him. I think his videos are very raw. They're very honest. And the stuff that he tends to talk about are like things that I would have never thought to talk about in videos. Um, and like it feels like brutally honest. Like I know I keep using the words authentic and stuff, but it just feels so real because you'll see him saying things or like recording things on video that other people would have either stopped the camera during or would have not even thought to record. Those people are insane. Like when you want to eat or fuck, are those just thinking their souls is driving them to do that instead of innate genetics? Like I'm referring to hardcore free thinkers. Yeah, no, I agree. Um, stream. Yeah, there is a stream. As someone who thought to have sociopathy in the past, how are antisocial reclusive behaviors linked to sociopathy itself? Um, I don't know enough about sociopathy to answer that question. I'm not a psychologist or anything. I only know like some pretty basic things about it. Um, but yeah, no, I don't know. I guess they would be linked to sociopathy because their antisocial behaviors, I guess. I don't know. No, I know who he is. I watched a video about him punching himself in the face because someone's more pretty than him, but why is he like that? That seems like autism. Um, Antisocial, I don't care about people. Sociopathy, that's the only link I can think of. Yeah. Sounds like my type of guy to watch. Yeah, I think you would like him, Anime Watcher. I I really enjoy his stuff. He's usually in here and is very funny. Yeah, that's the other thing too, is that He's really funny on the live stream chat. Let me see if I can get him here. Let me see here. Is he online? He's not online on Discord. Fuck! He's not online on Discord. Where is he? I'm looking here, and he's not online. Ree! Ree! Okay, my dog is freaking out now. F in the chat. Ugh. Oh, God. I've returned. Oh, okay. Well, let me see here. Yeah, insane idiot. I see it being always together in some articles about sociopathy, and I wonder why it doesn't really seem similar. Oh, my dog tried to jump out of the thing. What is his deal? He joined No's Discord a couple of days ago. Yeah, that's because he asked me. He asked me for the link to the server. He said, "Does No Thank You have a Discord server?" And so I sent him the link off of one of No's videos. My dog has such small feet. Who are you talking about? We're talking about Admiral Umaru. Keep up. Fuck. Okay. Is he? I don't know if he's on Discord right now. Let me see. Okay. I have to move. Where is he? Okay. I'll just send him the live stream. Is he right here? Okay. There you go. I don't know if he's actually online or not, though. I like how he talks about relationships with YouTube men and has one himself. A real triumphant story? I don't know which story you're talking about. With YouTube man. Oh, with hiding in my room and stuff. Yeah. I think that shit's fascinating. It's really fascinating. Yo, can I call in? I'm on the phone right now. I don't want to have to switch to my computer. I don't want to have to switch to my computer to try and stream that way, because I'm using the phone. And the thing with the phone is that it's literally streamed off of the YouTube app. I don't want to drink the milk in this. I don't know what this thing with me is that I hate drinking the milk in cereal. But my dog wants to drink it. And dogs can't drink milk. Does your comp have a speaker? It does, but the sound card is currently broke. So why would my computer having a speaker even matter? It's not like I can put the phone up to the computer and then just try and get audio that way. That's not the way the phone processes audio. That would sound terrible. I wouldn't put something like that on the internet because the audio would be so bad. Let me see here. Okay. A bit of a mess in here. Let's see. Okay. That's me too. Yeah. What was I gonna say? There's a video of him making fun of people in traffic. It's wild. I've never seen autism like that. Very interesting. Hey, I used to do that. I make fun of people in traffic just the other day. It's a pretty common occurrence for me. Okay. I took down the blanket that I tend to put over this window here, so now it's just a regular window. What's going on in the chat? I mean, how are you gonna get the Admiral Umaru guy to call in? Oh, I'm not getting him to call in, I just sent him the live stream. As all I did was send him the live stream. I didn't mean to, What do you mean F? Why are you saying F in the chat? Uh, do you know about Chris Chan? His life story is quite peculiar. I think he is one of the most interesting people to live in his own way. Rip? What do you mean, rip? What, is the stream not working all of a sudden? Hello? Hello? I should be right here. You can't hear me? Uh, F? What do you mean F? Okay, how about this? How about I go to my computer? I'll go to my computer and confirm it. Uh, oh, wait a minute. I don't need to confirm it. Fuck! um, okay. I can hear you. The stream works now. They're gaslighting you, Star. Yeah, that's what I figured. I had thought that that the stream was working fine, but I want to open the window. But I don't want to open the window because I'm afraid my dog's gonna jump out of it because he can jump really high. Um, what I need to do is trim the grass outside. I just don't have a proper mower. Now, we do have a weed whacker, but I would have to ask to use the weed whacker because the weed whacker is pretty expensive. But I want to mow. I want to mow the damn lawn. Um, Let me see here. Climb the tree while streaming, no balls. Um, do I want to walk out the door just to climb the... No, I'm not going to do that. Because I would have to leave the phone in the window, and then the phone could easily just cut out the stream by accident while I'm gone, and then I can't go out and fix it, or I can't get back to fix it until after I'm done being in the tree. If there were internet outside, I would do that, but I don't have phone service because the SIM card in the phone, the SIM card in the phone has like thousands of dollars worth of phone debt on it, basically. And so I can't ever make calls or use the phone internet. Uh, and I can't just buy a new SIM card because the problem is like hardwired into the phone. Like you have to literally change the serial numbers on the inside or something like that, which is too much effort. How much for a vacuum signed by Star? Uh, $10. I wonder, does that vacuum still work? I don't think that vacuum still works. I like the just the random reef blower we have sitting right there. Um, but yeah, the backyard is pretty nice. You know, I really hated this town when I first got here, but it has really grown on me lately. Like living here, living here in this town, like going out and driving and just seeing the roads, the fact that there's like drive-in alcohol places everywhere. This is the weird thing about where I live, is that constantly on every corner you'll be able to find drive-through bars. And basically what a drive-through bar is that you drive up to the window, you order, you know, Kentucky bourbon or wine or whatever it is that you want, you know, whatever kind of drink. They have basically everything there. And then you get your alcohol out of the drive-through. You literally pull it out of a drive-through. You know, they check your ID sometimes, but you could just get it out of the drive-through and then drive away. People could easily be getting drunk while they're in the car. Like Kentucky is one of the only states. Kentucky is one of the only states that I've seen that constantly has drive-through drive-through liquor stores. Very weird. Um, uh, yeah, you gotta get unlimited data with Jewbox once you go to Israel. Yeah, yeah, that's gonna be the plan. Yeah, I also think the same, but if you can separate the community dedicated to following him to his own self, the fact that he is interesting doesn't change in my opinion. I agree. Star playing with a reef blower. Yes. True. Check out King Cobra JFS at Peepo Man. He's going to be the new Chris Chan. I've never heard of that guy. I'll have to check him out as well. Wait. Aren't drive-through bars literally enabling drunk driving? LMAO. America, LMAO. Yeah, that is literally what they're doing. Um, gotta go. Having dinner soon. I'll listen to the rest of the stream later. Yeah, have a good dinner. Thank you for coming out to the stream for so long. Truly based in red-pilled American convenience. Clearly, never heard of him either. I will check him out. Fuck. Oh boy. Star, have you found more weed on dollar store floors? Unfortunately, I have not. I wish I could have found more weed at the Dollar General, but unfortunately, I just had to take what I could get. Um, but it was like an absurd amount of weed that I found on that floor. I still cannot believe that. 'Cause like I just walked into the store and the entire store smelled like bud. I look down at the ground, and then all of a sudden there's this big bag of like 3 grams of pot in there, and I just pick it up and walk out of the store. It's the weirdest thing. It's the weirdest thing that's happened because like even though the bag was tied up, you could smell the pot like from the bag. That's how strong the smell was, and it was all throughout the store. And I wish someone would mess up like that again so I could pick it off the ground again. But unfortunately, there haven't been enough people who have been stupid enough to drop like $70 worth of weed just out in the open. Um, Cartoon Scientist says a bunch of incoherent stuff. I don't know what that stuff is. Have you seen Akira? What do you think of it? I think Akira is really cool. I watched Akira in like 2016, so I think it was, yeah, about 3 years ago now. I think Akira is really cool. Animation, the animation is beautiful, and the story, like the scientific concepts behind the story, are really cool. I still don't really understand a lot of the themes in the movie, just because I was pretty young when I watched it, and I haven't done a lot of reflection. But I can say, firmly that like the animation is beautiful. I love the animation and the direction. In particular, the art direction was actually done by an architect. So that's the reason why the buildings in Akira are so detailed. It's because the guy who drew them actually drew the plans for buildings as a profession. And so I wish anime had stuff like that now, where it feels like most animators are just taking influence from other anime, whereas back then you had people who were in like big professions who were working on anime, like architecture or medicine or something like that. I wish there was more diversity in the field in terms of like what careers people come from before they make anime. I asked about your cereal, Mr. Smarty. I mean, you can, if you want to chalk it up to my dyslexia or something. Oh, wait a minute. Corn pops? Okay. No, they were what I was eating was what was it? Captain Crunch. Yeah, it was Captain Crunch. I thought it was well made but incoherent. It might be incoherent. I probably like I thought I just didn't understand it, but it might just be an incoherent movie. Favorite Satoshi Kon? I don't want to say. I I'm gonna have to go with Perfect Blue. Yeah, I think Perfect Blue is the best one. It seems like a Paprika. Paprika is a really popular choice, and I think Paprika is pretty cool. But Millennium Actress is pretty cool. But Perfect Blue is the best one. I wish he finished the Dream Machine because the Dream Machine would have been the best Satoshi Kon movie, but unfortunately he died before he could finish the Dream Machine. I don't know why I'm making a large jerking off motion with my hand right now. I just keep doing it, and I think this is just what I do when I hear myself talk. Um, but oh, What did you watch Riding Bean yet? I have not watched Riding Bean yet. Um, I need to get around to it. I actually have Riding Bean burned on a DVD, on a DVD-R that I burned in like 2017. Um, that isn't Paranoia Agent Star. Have I seen Paranoia Agent? I don't remember if I've watched it or not. Apparently, Neuros Q is back. He made a video on Mr. Enter. I feel kind of ashamed for bringing him up. Oh boy. We have to do a collab response video. Is that we can uh, we can respond to Neuros Q's response to Mr. Enter, who makes responses to cartoons. It can be the ultimate meta. A tag team response to the necromancer responder of responders. Um, I don't think any of those were words, but uh, yeah, I'm surprised Neuros Q is still doing YouTube videos because I does anyone care about him still like on YouTube like other than like people like us who just like weird obscure stuff like I haven't heard him mentioned by anyone in like a while. Like I feel like he kind of lost relevancy after the Powerpuff Girl videos. I have no idea what Mr. Enter is up to anymore. I have not been paying attention. I know he's let's see. Okay. But yeah, he's been making like videos about why centrism is good and stuff, and that's the last thing I saw Mr. Enter do. Um, Using DVDs in 2017. I like DVDs. I like physical media, just because it feels good to use. Uh, the physical media is cool. Oh, message retracted. He said F because he thought the stream had died. No, the stream's not dead. Physical media, digital. Yeah, physical media is so much better. You wanna look at this. These are our trees that are outside the yard. They go pretty big. They do. It's a really beautiful place. I don't know why I hated living here for so long. No, that's what I was trying to get to earlier is that, traveling around the city and seeing some of the kind of touchstones, landmarks, whatever you want to call them here, has made this place a lot more comfy. No, it's not such a bad place to live. Um, uh, I wish there was a larger community of people here who, like, I had access to and could organize with, is that, most people here kind of keep to themselves. But it is a really beautiful place. And especially like the design of the roads is that I gotta show this in video at some point, is that the design of the roads here is bizarre. It is very, very bizarre. Um, and I don't really know what to chalk it up to. Maybe it's because this city is just so old. I'm not sure. But the way that the city is laid out does not feel like it would in a typical city. Um, I buy DVDs for the director's commentary. I just like the way they look on my shelf. Bizarre how. Well, the roads are like really curvy and like stack on top of each other in a weird way. You'll know what I'm talking about when I find the famous turn that looks like everyone is about to crash into each other. I just have to show it on video so you know what I'm talking about. Oh. Hmm. Hmm. But have you have you have you played WoW Classic? I've never heard of WoW Classic. Do you mean World of Warcraft? Yeah, I've never played World of Warcraft in general. I've never been a big MMO RPG person. Hmm. Hmm. Ugh. Hmm. Did I have anything else I was gonna say? I don't know if what else. What other new things happened? It was gonna expand education. Um, is there anything else? Uh, I got my dog shots. I don't know if I talked about that or not, but my dog finally got shots. And I was really worried about him because he had a seizure something like 3 days ago. Yeah, it was 3 days ago. Because we went to get him checked out the next day. Is that he had a seizure, and so I got really, really worried at the time because I thought he was gonna die. Because for context, his mother died, from having seizures. She had seizures pretty regularly. She would scream and shout, and she couldn't walk, and it was really gruesome stuff. So when I saw him having this seizure, I panicked. I went into full panic mode. And so I picked him up, I was rubbing him as much as I could. I was, shh, calm down, it'll be okay, this kind of thing. And I take him out into the living room and I place him down onto the couch into a spot where everyone can see him and where he can be pet by everybody and feel like he's safe. And I just start crying. Like I just kept like bawling my eyes out as he was here because I genuinely thought my dog was about to die. And so I even like when I was attempted to be reassured by the people around me that it was going to be okay, I just kept crying. And that kind of caught me off guard. I didn't expect to be that upset. But in that moment, like, I felt a sense of fear that I have not felt in a very long time. And so it kind of put things into perspective for me, just how these things can just leave at a moment's notice, that something that you really care about isn't in the material world anymore. And I got really, really worried about him. And so we take him to the vet the next day, and they find out that, they test his blood, there's nothing wrong with his liver or anything like that. And so they say, well, okay, we'll put him on seizure meds if he has more frequent seizures. That sometimes you won't see one until like a couple of months. And only we can only give him seizure meds when he's having like multiple in a week. We said, okay. He got his shots for influenza and parvo, which he's had parvo before, so he technically shouldn't get parvo again because he got parvo before and then he got medicated for it. But and actually his brother died from parvo. So yeah, his brother died from it, but he ended up surviving. His other brother died as well, and so he was the only survivor. But he got, his rabies shot and everything. So it looks like my dog is all set up. The only problem is that he's not neutered yet. We need to get him neutered. And that way he can not have to be in my room all the time because he always tries to fuck his sister. And so in order to get him to stop trying to fuck his sister, we need to get him neutered. Um, let's see, what level does 3G get you to, like, out of 10? I give it like an 8. Yeah, an 8 out of 10. 3G is too much to use at once, I think. For me, at least. Um, I like I tend to not use nearly that much at once. It's too much. Um, it's a nice day out. You wanna? Now maybe I should. Should I open this? Should I open this thing up? I just don't. I don't think my dog can get out of it. I think it'll be okay. 3G as in telecommunications. That's not what he means. He means 3 grams. Uh, oh, he can't jump out because there's a board here. See, look, he wants to get out, but he can't get out. Ugh. Okay, let's close this thing down. All right. We'll put this. What's that relevant to? He's talking about illicit substances. If I could guess, if I were to allegedly answer that question. Let me see here. Okay, is it closed? Okay, let's lock it back. Right, no one's getting through the window here. All right. Illicit here, ha. Well, I mean, it's illicit where I'm coming from. Not illicit in some of the places that I've lived, though. Let's see here. Okay. Seeing a vacuum cleaner in the grass like that reminds me of that time I saw a guy vacuuming his lawn. I think it was fake grass or something. It was wild. That's pretty funny. A friend of his neighbor wonders. Neighbor wonders about what? Uh, but yeah, I mean, you're in Canada, so it's not illicit for you, but in the place that I currently live in, it's illicit. Not in places that I used to live in, like Oklahoma or Nevada. Definitely not illicit there. Let me see here. Hmm. Was there anything else? Anything else I had to say? I had a couple. I haven't really had any ideas for the last yeah, really for the last like 3 weeks. I've barely been live streaming. I've barely been releasing anything. And so I apologize for that. I apologize for not having more things to make. I just feel like I've made so many videos at this point that take acid. That's not gonna help. It's taking drugs don't just automatically make you creative. Contrary to what No Thank You says, that's not how it works. Um, but yeah. Let's see. What was I gonna say? Yeah, I feel like I've said so many things on this channel where like I've made over 1,000 videos, well over 1,000 videos, that what is there that I want to say next? And it's not like I've totally run out. I know that there's like one or two projects that I have on the back burner that I think people could really like, but I feel like I'm in kind of a dry spell right now. But I know I'll bounce back. I know there's got to be something here that could be interesting. Um, and like Indy in the chat is saying, just don't be a neat. That's the thing is that like being a neat after a certain point is just boring. Like, oh, try microdosing. Yeah, no, I've read a lot about microdosing, and it seems very interesting. I would just want to be as safe as possible about something like that. But from what I've read, microdosing is kind of like a nootropic, basically, is that it doesn't really like have the hallucinogenic effects that acid has. It more so just puts you in like a slightly better mood and gives you more energy. So that could be something that's interesting. But I want to be very safe about something like that. But let's see, what was I gonna say? Um, yeah, being a neat, like I'm just totally tired of it at this point. I don't want to do it anymore. I've been a neat for so long. I've gotten everything that I think I can get out of it. It doesn't feel interesting anymore. You know, I need a job. I need a community that I can congregate around. I need to be working on something bigger than just this YouTube channel. You like this YouTube channel's fun. I love doing it, but it's not the only thing. Like there's got to be more than just this, and I don't, I don't want to waste my potential on just rotting away in my room, because I know I can do better than this. Like it's I'm just so bored living this way. That's why like I've had so many of these live streams that say, I'm bored or I'm bored, help me be less bored. And the thing is that I don't have to do that. Like nobody has to do that. Like nobody watching the stream or watching my videos has to live that way. You just have to take the conscious effort to try and be better than you were before. And so um I need to try harder, and so I want to get into tutoring first and foremost because my education is pretty lacking, and I need to catch up. I really need to catch up. So that's the first priority. Getting a job is another one, um, and so yeah. Job Corps. What is Job Corps? Isn't that like a specialty type of school? I heard that from what I've heard, a lot of people who go to like Job Corps type schools when they're young tend to be like people who they could either go to juvenile court or or they could go to Job Corps. That's what it was like in Maine, is that when I lived in Maine, there was this specialty school for people who were like 16 and 17 who were like in high school, but it basically taught you how to get a job and how to do different types of work. And you could go there like part-time throughout the week or something and live on base. And most of the people in there were like problem children. They were people who they had talked to their guidance counselor or their social worker, and they said, you can either go to this organization or you can go to juvie. And then they would choose to go to that organization. So, so I never went there. I think you should get a job every 2 weeks. I get a paycheck and get a mini high. Yeah, like that's what I was saying earlier is that like I think a lot of people want to work, like working is satisfying for a lot of people, even though there are huge problems with the way that labor is organized in the US. Like people find doing work satisfying. Job Corps is not a school. They teach you how to make a resume and shit and general job training and you get minimum wage. Oh, okay. Yeah, I got it mixed up with something else. Because I can't remember the name of the school, but yeah, there's basically like a school kind of like that for young people, but okay, that's something different. I didn't know. Ugh. I Let me see. How much money do I have left? I have like $3 in here or something. I could probably use this to get like a frozen drink or something like that for my throat because my throat feels like garbage. My throat feels terrible. And so I need to do something about my throat. I took the cough syrup today and the cough syrup kind of helped, but it didn't really help that much. And so my throat still hurts. To be honest with you, talking on YouTube is probably not helping my throat either. Um, uh, let's see, did I have anything else I want to talk about? I think that's about it. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't end up doing the live streams on a schedule like what I was talking about doing for a while because I feel like if I did it that way, I'd be kind of miserable because I've told every single story at this point. I don't think there are any stories that I could possibly tell. I've told so many stories. Um, Ask your parents if they know anyone looking for a worker. Yeah, that's one thing that I gotta do. Is that I've been looking around at work, and so I'm gonna ask them about it too. I wish, I really wish there was like a synagogue, where we live. Is that where I live? There's no synagogue, and so I can't I can't properly attend church because of that. And it makes me a little bit sad. Um, but I'm considering asking a family member if I can live with them because there's a family member that I have that lives out of state And if I can convince my parents to let me live with them, first of all, that's a totally new experience, which is good. It's good to get out of the house and have new experiences. And then I can go do tutoring while I live there. And then I know there would be a religious congregation that I could go to as well. And so I could start, attending and everything. And I could be closer to the family member that would be able to like help me pay for tutoring and stuff. And I would be able to get work more easily because they live in like a bigger city, whereas the city that I live in doesn't tend to have a bunch of jobs going around. Um, and so that's what I'm thinking is that I have to pose that idea to the family though. And I know they would take me in, so that's good at least. Is that like I know they would take me in. So if I could live with that family member, I think that would be cool. But it would be like a temporary thing. It would be a temporary thing for like a year or something. That's where my headspace is. Now my dog is trying to scratch the wall. Ugh. Oh, who sent me a message? I'll deal with that later. What kind of tutoring are you looking for? I need to start from the ground up on a lot of things. Uh, I need to get the GED first and foremost. So a lot of it would probably be prep for that. And then after I got that, I would need to be preparing to take the SAT so I can get into college. Um, so a lot of preparation for that as well. Um, but I probably what's your favorite slice of life anime? Um, Probably K-On! I like K-On! A lot. I think K-On! Is the best one. I like well is if Welcome to the NHK counts, I would say Welcome to the NHK because I it's more of a drama than a slice of life. That's why I don't know if I should count it or not. But if you count Welcome to the NHK, that's my favorite one. Because that's just like my second favorite anime in general. But if you're thinking of like cute girls slice of life shows, K-On! Is my favorite because they're so cute. Like the animation is adorable, and their facial reactions are adorable, and all of the characters have a really adorable dynamic with one another. And yeah, it's just cute. Well, the other one I would say, by the way, is Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, which I mean, they're both Kyoto Animation shows. They're made by the same studio, but Kobayashi's Dragon Maid is so cute. Like, both of those shows, I cried multiple times when I watched them, which is not something most anime tend to do to me. Well, if you're going to stay inside, you should grow some plants to give your room more life. I don't want to stay inside. Like, I want to go outside more, which actually, oh, that was the other update, is that I've been going outside a lot more lately. I've been making an effort to try and go outside like every day. Even if it's just to sit on the porch to read a book, I think that's good, but I've been going on walks. I've been exploring the place that I live. I've been making an active effort to try and go out more. Um, I think it might be nice to grow some plants in here. Like maybe I could put plants on my window, and then growing in my window, I could just have some nice little living things. That could be a good idea. Um, do you already know what you want to study in college? I have a bunch of different ideas about what I want to study. I don't know for sure yet, because I've just had so many different ideas. Um, I like political science a lot. I think that's pretty cool. I like nursing. It would be cool to be a nurse. Um, I think I think history, getting a degree in history would be pretty cool, but at the same time, it's like, what am I gonna do with that? Um, yeah, I don't know. Um, I I really want to write like political and historical types of books at some point. Maybe some stuff about theology even. I think that would be pretty cool. But I like the social sciences basically. Is that I think the social sciences like sociology, poli-sci, psychology, anthropology, those types of things, I think all of those things are really, really cool. Is that I like all of those. So I don't know. But I might just end up going into medicine because there's a lot of people who need nurses and stuff, and I could do that. It's a position where I know I'd be helping other people and affecting their lives in a positive way, which I think is a good thing. Something that a lot of a lot of people just kind of innately strive for. um, let's see here. I still can't believe that guy asked me if I had ever heard of Chris Chan. Like, I think most people have heard of Chris Chan. But, yeah, I think nursing is one thing that I could study. Maybe becoming a. I thought about becoming a veterinarian for a while, and then I realized that being a vet takes like more effort than being a nurse, and I think I probably would like the idea of being a nurse more. Um, so I don't know. I gotta figure it out. Um, once I get to Israel, once I get to Israel and I've finished like my Hebrew education and stuff, um, and I've got everything set up. I've got all my life situated and stuff. Then I can start figuring out what I want to learn in school. As I haven't entirely figured that out yet. Long hours on being a nurse, though. Yeah, no, I know that. Vets have way shorter hours, but have to know a lot because you literally have to be trained like any pet. Um, what happened to the Kazakhstan of Vietnam trip? Okay, those are two different trips. I realized that both of those weren't really like economically viable. Is that like both of those trips were kind of dumb, and yeah, I basically realized that both of those are dumb. Kazakhstan and Vietnam don't have Jew bucks. Well, I found out about the law of return like shortly after I got really really interested in Judaism again, and I started to try and look at the process of converting, and eventually I just stumbled upon this information that you can use the law of return to immigrate to Israel, and that there's a bunch of like benefits that are involved that I just like wouldn't have access to as a low income person living in the US. And so I was pretty lucky to find out about that because I was listening to these lectures. I was listening to these lectures about Jewish history and stuff. And then eventually I stumbled upon that information and found out that, oh, my heritage, my cultural heritage can actually it can actually benefit me a lot here, which is pretty cool. Is that you don't even have to necessarily be a religious Jew to use the law of return. You just have to have the Jewish heritage. So even people who aren't interested in converting, they can just go on ahead, which I think is pretty cool. Um, But there are certain types of Jews that they won't let in. Like I remember reading about like some of the Reform Jews they'll reject, or some of the Messianic ones. Um, so you have to convert, can't use your heritage. Well, what they define as being Jewish is anyone who was born to a Jewish grandmother or a Jewish mother. And I have a Jewish grandmother and a Jewish grandfather. But um, if I wanted to just use my heritage to immigrate, I could easily do that. Is that the rules allow it? Um, and so Yeah, if I wanted to just use my heritage, I could, but I don't want to just use my heritage. I want to also convert. Is that yeah, like I've from all of the from all of the research that I've done on Judaism, you know, learning about sort of how it functions, I've just gotten very enthusiastic about it. And I I got so excited about the idea that I had like a revelation moment. And I don't want to talk too much about it just because I know most of my audience is irreligious and I don't want to spark any kind of debate. But I realized that that was what I was meant to do. That this was the thing that, you know, I don't want to use the word destiny because it sounds a little bit weird, but it's the thing that I was meant to do, and it's the thing that I do believe in. And so I've just been doing this ginormous deep dive on Judaism, and I've known you know, bits and pieces of it because of my family, you know, because of the history being communicated to me. But I want to I want to commit fully by converting, which can only be confirmed by a rabbi, is that I myself can't say, I can't tell you that I'm religiously Jewish unless a rabbi confirms that I am. Is that you have to be confirmed, you know, organizationally. Like, you can't just read a book and decide to be Jewish. I can say I have Jewish leanings, like I I can say that I'm trying to convert, that I want to be, but until a rabbi confirms it, you are not Jewish, you know. And ethnically, I am because I have a Jewish, you know, a Jewish grandmother, so that would be one fourth a Jew. And then in terms of like the religious law, you would be considered culturally a Jew because of that. But religiously, I am not yet. I have to be, I have to undergo the process of studying at a synagogue and then eventually being confirmed as one. So let's see. Don't forget to support Palestine, comrades. Yeah, no, I 100% support Palestine. I support the rights of the Palestinian people to self-determination. And I think Jerusalem should not only belong to the Jewish people, it should belong to all people. It's not just the Jewish Holy Land, it's the Christian Holy Land, it's the Muslim Holy Land. And I think the systemic oppression of Muslim people through the practice of Zionism is absolutely abhorrent, and there needs to be a great sense of healing. There needs to be a great sense of healing in the Holy Land. It's weird because my parents grew up in the USSR and they were labeled Jewish by the government regardless of them being atheists because being Jewish was treated as an ethnicity and not a religion. And as such, a lot of Jews still treat being Jewish as part of an ethnic group rather than a religion. Personally, I don't identify with it because Judaism seems dumb to me. Well, I mean, that's your opinion and that's fine. Dread it or hate it, destiny arrives all the same. Yeah, I agree. How good's your Hebrew? My Hebrew is not very good. You would cringe if you heard it. I only know prayers. Uh, Let me see here. One state solution. That's not what I said. No, we need a two-state solution that also allows for the capital to be shared. And I don't know why more people haven't said this. Like, Jerusalem being shared among the people seems like the thing that just logically makes sense to me. But yeah, there should be a two-state solution. Um, a one-state solution would be better, though. I don't think you would be able to get all of the people. I don't think you'd be able to get all of the people in on that, though, because the partition plan was gay. Yeah, there were a lot of problems with the partition plan, but I don't know. Regardless, the sort of practically impossible. Yeah, there again, there's a lot of problems with it, but I think a practical two-state solution would be ideal. But you have to end up sharing the capital somehow, or it's just not going to work. I hate pickles. Pickles are fine. Oh wait, no, you said I like pickles. Yeah, pickles are fine. Let's see here. Hmm. Oh wow, 13 viewers. Whoa, what the heck was that? That was me blowing my nose. Um, do I have anything else to say? I mean, like East and West Germany were separated after World War II and they were able to join back together. Yeah, like a process of maybe eventually joining back together is something that I could see happening. But I don't know. But it is a lot different in this situation. Yeah, because there's an ethnic and religious conflict involved. I mean, that's always going to make things more difficult. But I don't know enough about the issue to have a concrete stance. I think what's going on now is bad, basically, is that the people on both sides should be treated with the respect and dignity that they deserve. What is your opinion on India taking over Kashmir? Um, I think that's bad because I've seen some of the pictures of what's going on in Kashmir. A lot of people have died due to the military fighting over one another, and that's not good. I, I don't know enough about the history of Kashmir to have a concrete stance, but I don't like that there's war going on there. That's not good. Yeah, and Germany had only been split for decades. Yeah. And it's easier to reunite a country that has the same culture because I mean the way that you would define a nation is based on having a common history, having a common culture with one another. And ultimately, East and West Germany had the same culture. They were the same nation, even though they had different systems. And of course, the East German system was better, but like they were still the same nation. They effectively they had the same culture with one another. But let's see, what was I gonna say? I think that's about everything. Is there any? Yeah, okay. For some reason the camera cut out again. What power level am I at? Oh, I'm actually at 2% battery. So, I think this is the time that I should end the stream. We finished eating the cereal. That the biggest accomplishment of this live stream was getting to finish the cereal, I guess. Oh, 16 viewers. Wow. I don't usually get this many viewers on the streams. No. Well, okay, just go back and watch the other part. Okay, I'll read this really quick. Kashmir was a princedom with the Hindu prince and Muslim people wanted to join India because it gave him autonomy, even though they should have been demographically a part of Pakistan. Pretty dumb. Okay, so then Kashmir is Pakistan then. I mean, I'd have to do my own research on it before I start shouting, Kashmir is Pakistan, but that sounds correct to me. So yeah, I'm leaning on the side that Kashmir should be a part of Pakistan. Regardless, the violence that the Indian government has used is bad. That's something that I can most certainly oppose, regardless of what the historical circumstances are. How is your Japanese progress? Right now, I know about 1,000 kanji, which I'm pretty proud of. It was a big milestone to get to. Still don't know a lot of like actual sentences and stuff because I've mostly just been focusing on remembering the kanji, but I know 1,000 now. No, Kashmir was an autonomous region of Pakistan. It has a completely different culture to India and Pakistan. Yeah, so it seems like this is kind of a divisive issue. I would have to do more research to learn about it. Okay, everybody, I'll see you later. Thank you for coming out to the stream and listening to me ramble about nonsense as usual. I'll see you all later.